Hello ratbags, it's Jade. Thank you so much for the support on the second channel. We are now ready to apply for partnership and get this one done just like my main channel as well. I know it's a bit weird switching content and flipping it between, but basically YouTube just hates it when I cover too many games. And so this second channel is about all these crafty farming games that I like chilling out with and playing, but they just don't maybe fit in with some of the AAA games that I'm really going for on the main channel, maybe the more mature ones. Ground's been doing great, like I said, we hit 1600 subs already, we're ready to go, but there are other games on the horizon, and so I'm going to be talking about Smalland on this channel. I feel like Grounded and Smalland do obviously have some similarities, but they are very different as well. So we're going to talk a little bit today about Smalland, some of the dev blog they just posted on Friday, talking about what's happening with the game, improvements made and why they haven't got a release date as of just yet, and yeah, a little bit of comparison with Grounded. They were great games, the pair of them. I think they can live together, and I think they'll do both really well on my channel, pretty much as main games possibly. It depends how Smalland goes when it actually comes out. So bearing that in mind, let's take a look at what's been going on with Smalland recently. I showed you guys loads of progress last week on my main channel, talking about how much little clips showing off like some of the gameplay, some of the biomes and some of the new creatures. Today's one is a bit of a blog talking about when you can expect to see it. Now it doesn't actually list any kind of date, they're pretty much just saying that they really want to give some information and they're going to soon, but at the moment they can't reveal anything because things are still progressing. They were scheduled to come out last year. If you don't know, Smalland was going to have an open world demo or demo you could try. I'm guessing that's still going to be the case, that at some point we are going to get another chance to play a demo of it and then it'll have its early access release. So they switched it up this week with the blog and just basically showing off how far progression has come. This is a clip from back in February last year and highlighting how much the foliage has changed, and I am really glad to see this. The clips I've seen, the ground has looked great. One thing I will maybe compare a bit to is that Grounded sometimes you can't even tell that you're in some backyard or that there's human remains around you because there's so much grass and foliage and leaves blocking your view, and I like that. And it seems the Smalland devs are going along that similar route, or at least adding a lot more foliage. You can see there's a whole bunch more grasses and stuff, and it just kind of makes sense since you're small that lots of this stuff would be bigger than you and it might feel like a jungle at times. And although these are pretty grainy images, you can still see how far they've come. There's plenty of bushes here. There still will be plenty of spaces that you can run around where it's not going to be completely grass covered over, but you do get a better sense of the surroundings sometimes. So yeah, sometimes it's hard to get a sense of the surroundings if you can see nothing but leaves. I do get that problem sometimes in Grounded, but I think there's a good balance here and I think Smalland are just about approaching it. I was pretty excited to also show off their grappling hook. This is a feature that they showed off in their reveal trailer ages ago, or the reboot trailer. If you don't know, Smalland was started off as a Kickstarter project by literally 2 or 3 devs, but it ran into problems and issues. It just wasn't managed very well and they ended up selling the rights and the actual full game lock, stock and barrel to a completely different company. The old devs have nothing to do with this new version, and so this version's been worked on by Merge Games, who are pretty reputable. We've got a whole bunch of indie games out. So they've been doing this for a good amount of time now, nearly 2 years, and progress is coming. So I like this as well. Again, you can see human-made elements. We've got a seesaw here, and it's massive. You can see some sort of fence posts or maybe a playground in the background as well, like a slide. So you will be able to use your grappling hook to get around like Spider-Man. Now, I don't really want to rehash the video I did last week, but for some of you guys, you may not have really heard too much about Smalland or generally what I think about the game. I think it's got bags of potential. Now, potential doesn't mean it's going to be a sure thing, but from what I've spoken to the devs in the past, some of the stuff I've seen, it looks like it could be a potential really good game to come alongside Grounded. Yes, they both have the same premise. You're both small in a big human world, but they are very different games. Smalland did get announced before Grounded was even a thing, and I've always liked the fact that Smalland was maybe a little bit more fantasy, whereas Grounded is definitely more sort of movie sci-fi. I think for a lot of people, especially if you're like a big Ark Survival Evolved fan, Smalland may appeal a bit more because it does have a lot of creature taming in it and riding, and that's very similar to obviously what you do in Ark Survival Evolved. And both games have their spider problems, so you will be combating against them, finding ways to defeat them. But in Smalland, there are factions, and some of these creatures align with different factions, and you will have to align with these factions and maybe take out or do missions to basically progress. If you want to maybe learn certain armors or do certain things, you may have to actually side with the spiders at one point. There's going to be NPCs in the game as well, and again it's a bit more traditional like some of the other survival sort of RPG games you've had in the past. Like Conan Exiles, where you can go and find NPCs that will give you quests or stories. This is one of the witch characters, the NPCs, that's going to be in the game. It's going to be a huge world, it's going to be massive and big like most survival games are, but obviously being able to get around it with your insects does mean that you're going to be able to travel probably a bit quicker. Smalland are doing their own take on their own ants. They will have black ants, red ants and ghost ants. Not all the creatures are going to be tameable or rideable, but there will be a definite ecosystem just like Grounded where some are going to be friendly or not. And obviously good news for the builders out there will be a big building element of Smalland. Again, very much similar to other games. I don't want to keep saying other games are using them, but I guess without actually being able to play the game ourselves, I've only got to use other references and what I can sort of show you guys what I think it's going to be like. But yeah, again, very whimsical, a little bit more fantasy based, and it's definitely going to be some unusual creatures added to Smalland. So there we go, really, just a short one, just to let you guys know what's going to be happening with JCraft. We will be covering games like these. I'm not going to be just strictly Grounded in the future, but I'm not going to probably do too mad a thing. On my main channel, I do move from game to game quite a lot, but I do intend to really make Grounded my main game on the JCraft channel. But for sure, if Smalland comes out and it's actually good, because I've still got to try it out properly myself, then I think I could have both of these games running on channel and it would definitely appeal to a lot of fans. Smalland is going to be coming to consoles hopefully in the future, but obviously they've got to get through some of that early access period first. But the publishers behind it, I've got a big history in actually porting games over to consoles. But yeah, I really like the look of this one, so I will do this every few weeks. We'll catch up with what's going on with Smalland. And yeah, hopefully you guys will be excited for it eventually when it does come at some point in 2022. If you do want some more info about Smalland, you haven't come across my channel before, go and check it out. I will leave the link to it down below the playlist. There's a whole bunch of videos including an interview with the developers of Smalland. So until next time, Ratbags, laters.